Hey everyone, this is my review of Batman 3 Jokers, Book 1. I know Book 2 just came out last week, but I never reviewed this one, and I wanted to because I also want to review issue number 2. So I'm going to review this one as well. And then I know I just did a video on Batman Death in the Family, and it kind of ties into this, as you'll see. So we got this Joker, which obviously the crowbar. This is the Joker that beat Jason Todd and then blew him up. And then there's also the Joker that shot Barbara Gordon in the Killing Joke storyline, which I still need to read. And then there's the other Joker in here, which seems to be the Joker that Batman has dealt with for the majority of his history. So Batman 3 Jokers, just real quick, is the culmination of like 4 to 5 years of speculation when Batman sat on the Morbius chair and that revealed to him that there are 3 Jokers. And ever since we've been left hanging, not knowing what the story behind that is. So apparently this is in continuity, I suppose. Although it's kind of confusing because Batman, uh, the Joker War is going on in the Batman storyline, and then you have Batman 3 Jokers, and I think a lot of people are getting confused, like the difference between those. So this is like covering the story of the 3 different Jokers, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't really tie into Batman Joker War at all. So yeah, right off the bat, Jeff Johns, um, I have mixed feelings about Jeff Johns because of his involvement in Titans and the DC Universe stuff. Um, so when I read this, Jeff Johns seems like a pretty solid writer, but when I watch those DC Universe shows and it says they were written and or produced by Jeff Johns, I have very different thoughts. um, so I'm trying to forget his involvement with Titans. I haven't read his Justice League run because he was on the Justice League, which launched the New 52 and all of that. So, he's pretty prolific in the DC realm, but I'm not. I haven't made up my mind on if I like him as a writer or not. And maybe he's just one of those writers who writes some good things and some bad things. Um, However, I can say that I am a fan of Jason Fabok's art. I don't know much about Jason Fabok personally, but I know that I enjoy his art very much. Just first of all, look at the cover. Very sinister looking Joker, and he even kind of kept that really odd chin from the Death in the Family storyline, although it's not as nearly as pronounced. Um, and so it starts off in the Batcave. We see a lot of Batman's trophies, and then we see the utility belt is, you know, on the ground. Batman is kind of hobbling with Alfred helping him. He takes off his mask and cowl, which, in this version they're totally connected, which I really like this style of the bat suit. And then Alfred cuts off the suit. Sorry, that glare is really bad. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it looks maybe a little better. So Alfred cuts off the bat suit and is dabbing at Batman's latest wound. And he asks, what was it this time? And Batman says, an umbrella. And then, dang, we just get this shot of Batman's back, and it's just totally covered in scars. And we see, this long line here was where, the surgery was when Bane broke his back. And then this crescent is where Riddler's cane branded him, and the scratch across his chest was from Catwoman, and it goes on with like Killer Croc and Scarecrow, and then we get several wounds that were inflicted by the Joker. So there's a bullet hole, there's an acid stain, there's a card, one of his sharpened cards, a scar from that. and a scar where he was poked by something, like jabbed really hard by something, I guess. Um, so yeah, very cool art. Um, and then they felt the need to retell Batman, or I guess reshow Batman's origin story, kind of, where his parents are killed in Crime Alley. And I mean, we've seen that so many times, but it's like, man, when you see it again, every time it's just so heartbreaking. um, so, this is marked as Joker #1, the criminal. And then we move on to Barbara Gordon, and she's working out in a gym. And it shows the bullet hole where the Joker shot her, and of course she was paralyzed for such a long time and became Oracle. Now she's back on her feet and has resumed the role of Batwoman, Batgirl. And so the Joker that did that is labeled #2, the comedian. And then we get Jason Todd, and I've really Jason Todd has really grown on me as a character. I used to not be a fan of him at all, but the more I, read of him, and the more he's written well and as an interesting character, I enjoy him more. But he's just beating the crap out of these criminals who are apparently Joker henchmen, basically. And we get a flashback of Death in the Family, where Joker is beating, of course, just the living daylights out of Jason Todd. And the first time, I read this 2 times before doing this video. And I didn't notice this the first time, but you can actually see, like, the scars in his head where hair doesn't grow, where his skull was literally cracked open from the Joker beating him with the crowbar. And man, that is pretty gruesome, but it also is kind of cool how they added that much detail. And yeah, just again, I have a lot more respect for Jason Todd overall. And man, what a brutal thing to go through. So that Joker is labeled #3, the clown. So it seems like, we get Batman's Joker, Batgirl's Joker, and Jason Todd, who's used to be Robin but now is Red Hood. We get his Joker too. So there's a crime scene at Ace Chemicals, and throughout all of this, it's talking about different Joker crimes. So Batman's Joker was reported to have killed the remaining members of the Moxan something crime family. And then Batgirl's Joker is reported to have killed a comedian. And then Jason Todd's Joker was seen or is connected with the murder of a Arkham Asylum doctor who is writing a book on the psychology of super villains, basically. So that kind of sets up a mystery right there. How did Joker strike 3 places seemingly at the same time? And then we have this crime scene at Ace Chemicals, where there's three bodies, all Joker-fied, and Batman shows up. And I really like Jim Gordon in a fedora. I've not really seen that too much before, but he looks good he looks good in a fedora. So yeah, anyway, Batman arrives at the crime scene, and Batgirl arrives as well. And so basically, of course, this is where the Joker was born, or at least a Joker. So they're trying to figure out which was the real Joker and what's going on with this crime scene. And then one of the victims comes around, and it's like that he's still alive. So they get him in a hospital, or get him in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. And Batman and Batgirl are going to escort him. And then Jason Todd ends up being in the back of the ambulance. He was like in disguise, I guess. But he starts threatening the victim before Batman stops him. So I guess Jason Todd has been on the trail of the Joker for a while, and is trying to figure out what's going on as well. And also from Ace Chemicals, there's a truck missing and a vat of chemicals. But this was the really interesting part. So we see two Jokers right here. So here's the one that was driving the truck, and then this is the Joker that shot Barbara Gordon. And then we get like the criminal mastermind Joker right here. And they're talking about their plans. Not like they're vaguely talking about their plans. It doesn't actually say what it is. But all the way through this, the art is just absolutely awesome. So, round of applause for Jason Fabok. So, Batman, Jason Todd, and Batgirl track Joker to the aquarium where the fish have been Joker-fied, which is a classic Joker trope with a smiling fish. And then, then there's a shark that's been Joker-fied as well. And obviously it was kind of a trap for them to be led here because there's a bunch of Joker goons, led by the little dude here. I guess he's called the Court Jester. I don't know much about him, but there you go. So they begin to fight, and the shark is trying to get at them while they're fighting, and the Court Jester has, it looks like some kind of taser type thing, but Jason shoots the glass, and that allows the shark to bust through, and he just eats the guy. That's good comic book fun right there. So here we get the comedian Joker right here with his fish, and he's making jokes about Batman and Robin, or why did Batman and Robin quit going fishing together? Robin kept eating all the worms, and yeah, so obviously the comedian Joker here. And then he says, or should that be the other way around? Boy Wonder number 2, because of course, Todd died. It's like, dang, that's brutal. Were the worms eating you after I put you in the ground? Yeah, so Jason Todd gets very pissed off, and the trio here are able to knock out this Joker, and Batgirl's wondering, she asks, "That's him, isn't it? That's the Joker?" And Batman answers, the laugh, the look, the smiling fish. So it's not clear if this is the Joker or just one of multiple. But anyway, Batman calls in Jim Gordon, who says, "I think we've just cornered number 2." And so Batman says, "I'll be right there." And so he leaves Batgirl and Jason alone with this Joker. And they tie him up in a chair. And he's got his sharpened cards. He's got his acid flower. And he tries to somehow squirt it on them. I'm not exactly sure how, but basically classic Joker tropes. So more and more Jason and Barbara are getting convinced it's the Joker, and Joker is antagonizing Jason, and so Jason's like, I took it because I'm owning what you did to me. You made me into this. I'll be your destruction. And Joker says, "Ooh, brave little boy, you frightened me," and just laughs after that. So Jason um, has his gun, and Barbara tries to get him to put it down, but Jason's like, nothing is going to change until we break this cycle of capturing Joker and him escaping and then capturing him again after he's killed people. Um, so yeah, we get this. Oh man, this was a really good scene. Um, and so he's totally claiming responsibility for bashing in his skull. He's like, I bashed this boy's skull in. I killed this Robin. And then Batman arrested me, like you're doing now, brought me to Arkham, and that was that, until it wasn't. You didn't kill me, you only made me stronger, says Jason. And Joker says, so basically he's like, yeah, I survived because I wanted to. And Joker's like, or maybe I beat you to a bloody mess. I took you right to the edge because I wanted to leave you alive. I mean, if I outright kill you, well, then there's no more opportunity to hurt you, and in turn him, because he's all that matters, not you, never you. And then Joker says, do you recall what you said to me while I was breaking your head in with that crowbar as your blood streamed into your eyes and your skull cracked? Because I cherish those words. I'll always cherish them. And Joker's mocking him and saying, please stop, please. If you let me live, I'll do anything you say. I'll be your Robin. And Joker loses it. And he says, and look at you now, my little Red Hood, shooting up people and making Batman's life miserable. You are my Robin. And does his Joker laugh. And then we get this, flashback right there with this, current Jason and then Robin Jason when he's getting beat the crap out of. And Jason's finger is quivering on the trigger. Batgirl flings a batarang, and it looks like it hits the gun, but then Jason pulls the trigger and blam, right through the skull. And of course, Joker goes down, blood gushing everywhere, and Barbara asks, "What did you do, Jason?" And Jason says, "I ended it." And he's like, don't tell me you didn't want this too after everything he did to you. And Barbara says, I didn't want this. Jason says, really? When's the last time you missed, Barbara? And it appears that she did not make the, she was aiming for his hand, but instead just hit the gun, which didn't throw Jason's aim off that much. So anyway, then Batgirl storms away, and we're left with Jason in the body of this Joker, and he says, man, I hope that's the right one. And that's where it ends. Whew. What a great comic. I really am enjoying the Black Label lines. I was not impressed with the question. I thought about doing a review on that. And this is by far the best Black Label I've read. So maybe I should say I'm just really enjoying the storyline. I have yet to read issue 2, but as soon as I do, I'll do a review on that. But I would highly recommend this to go get and read. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you did. And if you are subscribed, make sure you're getting those notifications. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.